all wonky jawed. Hold on, I'm all wonky jawed. I knew I was gonna be all wonky jawed. Oh my goodness. I knew I had to change my position like last minute. Okay. Hi. Go
Hi,
ahead, you take.
everybody.
I gotta get settled in.
Mm,
You're like you too. Ooh,
I
it's
am
a
just sipping my tea. Just do a little sound check. Everything sound okay? Tea time. What's everybody having for tea?
Good morning, good morning. Yeah.
Oh, girl.
What's today?
It's
I'm having
probably morning in
blackberry
Australia.
Blackberry citrus with zinc.
I'm having my third trimester tea that has nettles and oat straw, red raspberry leaf, alfalfa, and then I like putting some mint in there too.
Yum.
It's really, really good.
Hello, everyone. Let's come say hello.
Yeah,
Lorraine,
yeah.
of course, Lorraine skirted in. She skirted right in. Girl, we got all kinds of purple packages going out tomorrow, my loves. You know, I'm just going to start. I wrote some things down today. And at first I was going to wait, but you know what? I have to I said this to myself when I was preparing for today. And I said, your hard work is going to pay off. You will be strong. And I said, know what? I am strong. I crossed it out and wrote, I am strong. And when I sat down and I said, you know what? I deserve to be here. And you deserve to be right next to me. Not in front of me and not behind me, but right next to me. Because we are all, it's like we all have something to contribute. But I wrote that down and I needed that to just center me up real fast. Quick snap in a hurry. See, sometimes the pen just says write something, and I did.
True that, true that. Yeah,
Hello,
it's been a
Debbie.
whirlwind of a day.
And sugar. Mary King, hi baby Sherry. Hello, Laura, my twisted sister. We're gonna make a bag. We're gonna make a bag. It's the fireside friend. What did we say? Oh, the fireside friend market bag. Cause now I'm like the farmer's market chick. Oh, you say hello to some people. Let's see. I'm at Mama Wonder Twin. Mama Swift. Hello, Lola. There's my Tracy. Okay, Christine. And another Laura. Spray Gunner. Hello. Let's see. Oh, there's Isabel asking how you're feeling. So I gotta go grab something.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome in. Today's 9/9. So that's special. I'm a little off today. It's been quite the whirlwind, and I'm definitely feeling lots of pregnancy emotions and exhaustion and all of that fun stuff. Getting over that chest cold, I finally feel like I'm on this side of it. Yeah, I feel a lot better. But man, just knocked me out. Wasn't too bad, just a couple days, and it cleared up really quick. I took some elderberry syrup that's homemade from a friend, local, and I made lots of bone broth and rested and got outside and put my feet in the grass when I could, and I think that all really helped. So, yeah, finally feeling good. It's good to be back.
Okay. There was some strawberries from the market. So good. I had to nourish a little bit.
Your guys' peak season comes a little later than ours.
Yeah.
Because it's so cold up there.
It was warm today. It was in the 80s. That's warm here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Milan. Big hugs. There's some stitches in this chat right now that showed me that my universe will provide as long as I nourish it. And I'm so full right now. I have just so many opportunities are presenting themselves in front of me today that give me hope. And I'm just seeing these life paths in front of me that are like dream. You know what? It wouldn't be a cliche if it wasn't a thing. What is it that if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life? And I remember being a young person going, okay, whatever, whatever. And
Yeah.
it, again, the other part of that is now that I'm older, I go, gosh, I wish I would have learned. Listen to that. Listen to the elders, because we live in a society that we don't listen to our elders. Our elders don't teach us how things should be done and how things that are right and morals. And I don't want to be that elder, you know. I want to teach my babies and my grandbabies how to be good humans. I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
I was talking to a friend the other day too, and we were just talking about our love of cooking. And she's going to be helping us with some baby shower stuff. Shout out Dana. Um, I did some gardening work for her, and we were talking. And it was just like, man, if we were to really, yeah, gone after that thing that we loved right out of high school, instead of going for the business, going for the, psychology degree, which not to shame these things in any way. But I think we often pick life career paths based on what's going to get us the most money and security and what our parents and, you know, what would happen if we actually encouraged kids to go into a trade or some type of vocation like right out of high school, so that one, they have something that they can always be certified in and make money from. Two, they're learning how to create something and bring it into the world and support, a growing infrastructure without sitting in classrooms. I mean, there's so many routes that we can take, but the villages have to grow and we have to have tradespeople, and like we're all craftspeople here. We understand the value of all of our crafts and the importance and the warmth that they bring to our households.
Speaking of that, calling all cars. I'm putting out an APB for leather workers.
Ooh, I have somebody in Oregon.
I need two sets, so that's four hand handbag these things.
Yeah, she does all
Straps
repurposed
about
leather.
that side, that for a good market bag that'll comfortably fit right underneath your armpit, for going to the opening up, putting your veggies. Just
Mm,
some Nana wants a Chunky Monkey Market mesh bag, but she wants leather straps. All cotton, and she,
mhm.
her, she wants the leather straps. She doesn't want
Yeah,
the plastic and the fake.
the leather
And I'm
really will last forever too.
right. And what better way to, instead of like, I mean, not to not go to an Etsy store or something, but I want to ask anybody here
Yeah.
if they have someone that works leather. But yeah, get on that. I need two sets and I need them pronto.
Yeah, she makes really cool wallets and bags and like patches and all kinds of stuff, but everything she uses is like repurposed. So she'll take old, like rundown leather couches and strip them
Yes.
and use those. And yeah, everything's by hand, no machine. It's really cool.
See, that's exactly what I want. I want handcrafted. I want handcrafted, oh yes. Maybe I can start making. You know what? I just don't have. I would love to learn how to work with leather and pelts and things of like, things like that are naturally sourced.
Yeah.
There's places where it's like they use roadkill and stuff to do the pelts, not killing animals and stuff. But not. I don't want to go there with that. But no, that's definitely not my thing. I work with like glass beads and
So could you send me what's the length that you would need?
Hold please.
Because yeah, I have two people now that I'm thinking of that do leather. Shauna Lou, she does some really cool stuff with leather where she'll set stones like cabochons in leather and then
Ooh.
sews around it, and it looks really, really cool.
Well, this is gonna be this is gonna be for market bags that and this was 20 inches. So
Okay.
20 inches, and then there's loops. There's just a way loops. They don't have to be metal. In fact, I prefer no metal
And she could
because it
probably
rubs
make
on.
them
It
out
gave me
of
a welt where it was
she
rubbing on my arm.
probably make them out of like sinew or something or
Yeah,
cord.
yeah.
Cord. Hi, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle Bell. Hi, baby. Yeah, you know what, Wildflower? I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Um, you know what? It's I think that sometimes the elders aren't speaking to them on their same level. I don't know. I've always been, and Lexi can attest to it, and like Mama Swift, when I first met her, I went down on my belly on the ground, right face to face with Quinn. She was just barely a toddler, and that's all she wrote. She's like, we're besties. I don't treat children and teenagers, I treat them like they're little humans, not like they're ignorant or that they don't have their own thoughts and they don't have their own wishes. And sometimes people don't like to be touched. Well, don't I'm a very touchy person, so I have to learn to cut that off. But each person has to be allowed to have their own comforts, right? And I've always tried to teach that to my children. So as far as, I don't know, I feel like it goes back to the little bowl. Here's my little, I had some little hazelnuts in there. You put in the bowl, Edwina. I'm gonna put my knowledge in there. And then I leave that bowl behind. I've left behind what I teach and what I'm gonna hopeful that someone will pick it up and then nourish themselves from it and use that power. But until then, I put the power there and that's where it lies. So my kids, I just really feel like I allowed my children to be individuals, and I just see so many of their friends where they're not. Like the pronoun thing, and the more you fight kids, the more they're gonna want that. So whatever you want to be called a they, by all means, I'll try to break 40 years of grammar. Let's do it. If that's what you want, perfect. Who am I going to tell someone else that they can't be called what they want to be called? Whatever. There's so many other things to be upset about. But Sir Michael, hello. So today, yeah, my Quinny bug. So today, I think, honeybee, Lex was going to pull a card and tell us what number. Are we doing the monthly number, or because we're in a new month now?
Well, today's actually pretty cool because it's 9/9.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. 9 plus 9 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So that is sort of special to me. It's like a 9/9 portal.
It right.
So
No, I
when
saw that
we,
when I was writing it in the book here. I was like, hey, what do we got going on?
yeah. So, like, anytime you have doubles of numbers, it's always amplified. And nines have a lot to do with completing cycles and taking things that you've learned throughout the cycle and sharing it with community. Um, Today, specifically, is an 8 day. So, eight is associated with abundance and systems. I think of motors and the ocean, and how it has highs and lows and twists and turns, and there's a lot of dynamic movement in order to make that 8 that infinity sign. So yeah, so today there's a amplification of 8. And I also picked a stone for us today, and it's smoky quartz. It's kind of hard to tell in the light, but
Hold
this
on,
is
let
my
me get. Hold on, let me get you.
it's okay.
Yeah, they want to see. The stitches know what they want to see.
And this is a smoky quartz, and it's
Oh,
really beautiful.
wow.
There's actually little prisms inside. I can see little rainbow prisms inside. So this is one of my favorite stones to work with. I was cleaning this weekend and found it after losing it for a while, and it was just kind of this reminder of like grounding. It's definitely a big stone for grounding, for transformation, for transforming, our negative thoughts into positive ones, and um, clearing energy, calming anxiety, things like that. It also has a lot of protection to it. Um, I feel that it's a way to connect deeper with our ancestors and with any loved ones lost. So I think it's a really beautiful grief stone, something that you can work with. If you don't physically have a smoky quartz, that's okay. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy a smoky quartz to work with it. Just thinking about it and envisioning it, looking at photos, reading about it, those are all ways that you can connect with the energy of smoky quartz. And yeah, when working with crystals, I never want people to feel like they have to buy every single stone that I bring up. Like, you can have a relationship with it without having it in your physicality. That's the beautiful thing about it. So, yeah, so call in smoky quartz and see if it can assist you in grounding and transforming our more negative or lower feelings into more positive ones, and transforming our grief, allowing grief to be a part of our lives, and also allowing the opposite, which is joy. I think often we get stuck in our grief or in our sadness, in our losses, without letting it transform and also bring us the appreciation for our life and joy for the people that we do have in our lives. And yeah, so today's been a little heavy day. But also beautiful. I think that I took these heavier feelings and allowed them to move me through my day. So I put together a little care package for a really dear friend that works at our local funeral home, and she's actually the one that took care of our son when he was lost. And she's been in my thoughts and my heart a lot. I think the work that people do in the memorial homes and at the crematories, it's like they're such a huge integral part of people's lives or families when they have lost a loved one, and then it's over, and then they go. And so she's in this cycle of helping people through this transition. And then I just wanted to share some extra appreciation for her. And yeah. Whew. So that brings me to the deck that I chose for today, which came from a really special friend. Her name's Alicia, and we're friends from Washington. And she is a sweet, dear sister of mine. She gifted me this deck. Oop. Excuse me. So this is the grief deck. So there's all kinds of goodies in here, and I thought we could unbox it together. I haven't had the strength to open it yet, and after pulling out my smoky quartz and just having this kind of day today, I was like, maybe it's time. So we have this really pretty simple, and this is a grief deck, rituals, meditations, and tools for moving through loss. I don't see an author on it. Oh, so it's a collaboration. It says it's created by artists and grief workers in collaboration with artist and death doula Adrian Jenick, who curated the project with the Artist Literacies Institute. So I thought we'd check this out together. I'm going to burn a little bit of my Palo Santo. Just clearing our space a little bit. Palo Santo is a really sweet kind of campfire smell. It comes from a tree in South America that the villagers, they wait until the tree dies, falls over, or like if a limb will fall, they wait for it to ferment on the forest floor for, I think it's between 10 and 15 years, something like that, before they will burn it. And it's used in ceremonies, it's used to clear and cleanse, and it just smells really lovely. It's not quite as potent or strong. It has its own qualities aside from sage. Like, I wouldn't compare it to sage.
It's definitely more, excuse me, like a bark, like cedar. It's woody.
It's woody and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I also like to use frankincense and myrrh and cedar. Those are all some of my favorites. I get the resins. So the resin is like a tree sap that comes off of the trees as they grow, and then that gets harvested off and cured, and then you can burn it on charcoal, and it smells really nice.
Ooh, honeybee.
Ooh, Palo Santo, sandalwood, and orange. That sounds really nice.
This little thing I have here from Jax is sweet orange and clove.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so fresh. I love my lavender and frankincense. I love it.
Yeah, really nice.
Hi, Nana.
Okay, so I had all kinds of stuff pop out for us.
Something jumped out. Watch out now.
So we're going to have quite a few here. Okay. So here's our first card. It's this really beautiful. My lighting's not so good today. It's like dark now. But this is really pretty.
Community tab, guys, after the fact. Oh my goodness, but that's beautiful. Look at all those oranges. Where's my Laura?
So this one says, waves of grief. When a wave of grief strikes, fight the urge to run away. Remain on the shore and allow the wave to wash over you. Remind yourself that you won't drown and that the wave, like a tide, will go out again and you will have survived it. Take some deep breaths, try to find moments of peace, and prepare yourself for the next wave. And this is artwork by Nat Can. And that's beautiful. I feel like that's really speaks to the 8 energy of today with numerology. I always think of the 8 as the ocean tide, the way that it comes in and goes back out. And yeah, it's not something to be fought, but something to move with and to ride even. So I really appreciate this card. So together we can take a big deep breath. sometimes I've learned with grief, it doesn't even have to be here, but because you know it exists, you can create it. And so I guess this is just an invitation not to fight it, but also not to create it either. Oh, honeybee, that's so beautiful. Thanks for being here with us. Yeah, we're really not alone in it. Every single one of us is lost. And then the next card we pulled, this is the Mountain.
Wow, those are really beautiful.
It says living with loneliness. Loneliness is an integral part of grief. It is hard to accept and feel the loneliness of loss. Consider filling some of the emptiness you feel with other people and activities such as volunteering or joining a support group. Who would you consider part of your support network? Is there a support group you might find and join? What other activities could you engage in to combat loneliness? How perfect is this?
Right.
We're here supporting each other through our crafts.
And I do whenever I feel lonely. All I know is all I got to do is push the button. And I know there's at least 25 people that are here every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. We are never alone as long as we're here together, right? Just have to be present with one another.
Excuse me, I still got a little cracklies. All right, this one's really sweet. It looks like maybe brothers or lovers, who knows? But they're at a big, they've got all the food out and they're giving each other a big kiss. And it says, be in the sun. Go for a walk. Find a piece of sidewalk that falls under the sun's rays. Place your feet firmly on this patch of concrete or grass. Close your eyes and keep your hands to your sides. Breathe. Stay here for as long as you want, as long as you can. Feel the sun's warmth envelope you. You do not need to think. You do not need to worry about your breath. This is simply a time to be still. So it's like their embrace is like a symbol for the sun, allowing the sun to embrace you.
I think we all do that. We don't allow ourselves to be embraced with anything. We fight the embrace of friendship. We fight the embrace of kindness. We fight the embrace of generosity. We'll give it all day long, but we really refuse it as people. In my community right here, I can tell you there's at least 4 or 5 people I know just like me. It's hard to accept gifts. Like it's hard to just receive. And I'm practicing on that. And my this here has helped me with that. Been able to say, oh, you shouldn't have done that. I've really, really stopped saying things like that. Instead going, oh my goodness, thank you so much for thinking of me and accepting the gift. You know, we shut ourselves off so often, and we have to allow ourselves to be embraced.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes that starts with nature. It's like, what does nature want to give to us all the time? Whether it's fresh, cool, crisp air in the morning and the sound of birdsong and the sun rising, like there's so much energy that we can receive from that. But if you're
Complete
like me and
a
you go back to
fresh
sleep after, getting your honey ready for work and miss this opportunity, it's like I miss that when I wake up. And it's a gift to myself to stay up and enjoy that moment in the morning that the sun's rising and the birds are waking up and the air is so crisp and cool and fresh. And this is really cool, but trees go dormant at night. So they go to sleep like us and they don't produce as much oxygen as when they do during the day. So when it's sunrise, the trees are putting off the most oxygen that they do throughout the entire day. It's like they're waking up, they're breathing in that air, they're giving us the best oxygen that we can get.
Mm.
So it's really cool. So yeah, maybe we start with allowing ourselves to receive what nature has to give us, what the sun has to give us, what breath and our meals and our food. And then maybe from there, that allows us to open up more to receiving from our fellow humans
Right.
and from ourselves, even. I don't know about you, but it can be even hard to receive from myself.
Yeah.
Knowing certain things that I can give myself, a warm bath, a arm massage or neck massage, a beautiful meal, and then
That's what I did. I tried Ethiopian food.
oh, you did.
Oh
Did
my
it go
gosh,
well?
I'm in love. I had the red lentils. Well, she gave
Mhm.
me, it was either the red lentils or the red chicken. And I was like, could I have a little bit of both? And so her brother made up a little bit of both with the potatoes and the injera bread.
The bread is so good.
It's like purple, and
Mhm.
it's fluffy and delightful and gluten free and
Mhm.
dairy free,
And it's
and
fermented, so it has good
it
gut
was so
bacteria.
good. And so that's when I went to the farmer's market to get the veggies for the next couple of days. I got some beautiful tomatoes to make tomato and onion sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have little wraps. I got some beautiful green leaf lettuce. And so I'm going to make it, but they want on the beautiful Seattle's best, that sourdough. Got some of that. And then I got the fresh berries and stuff. But um, why was I even talking about it?
About giving to yourself.
Oh, and then I saw that I smelled it first. And when I looked over, and this adorable little young woman had this beautiful smile on her face, and she goes, "Would you like to try something?" And I said, "Oh, I never get to try anything. I'm always allergic to everything." She goes, and she engaged me, and she's like, "If it's gluten and it's dairy, or if you're vegan, come on." Like that. It was the way she said it, was like, "I've got something for you if you have allergies."
Yeah.
And it was just the way she put together the plate, and she let me try things. And um, then she brought her mom over to meet me, and she's like, "My mom cooks all of the food."
Oh,
So she gets up at like 2 o'clock in the morning before the market and cooks all of the food.
yeah.
And I just was like, "Mama, thank you for nourishing my body
So
today."
what was
And
it?
it was, huh?
What was it?
Ethiopian.
Oh, this is the
This is
family
the
that made the food.
Ethiopian
Okay,
food.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And just the eye contact that we met, I just felt, I knew that meal was going to be delightful. And I think that's going to be like I told them, instead of going and getting, the Friday night pizza and stuff, I was like,
Yeah.
Sunday nights are market nights, and bring home food from the market.
Oh yeah. That food is so good.
Oh, I
There's a
love it.
lot the Indian spot and we used to get the breakfast burritos there and the little donuts, little mini donuts. There's just so much yummy
Yeah.
stuff there.
Those little donuts, that you just watch them bloop, bloop, bloop,
Mhm.
and
They have the
come off.
little conveyor machine.
Oh, I wish, but yeah, that
I know you can't have that, but
there was a couple of vegan gluten free bakeries there. It's
mm,
just $8 for a cookie, and I'm like, I'd
yeah.
rather. Daddy makes me the most delightful peanut butter oat bars. They're our little peanut butter oat balls, little cookies,
Mhm.
no bake cookies, and there's everything in them is natural.
Yeah. You know what's going in there. It's not like some crazy
No
ingredients.
refined sugar, natural raw honey, peanut butter. Yeah. So delightful for the tummies. Hello, Chandra, gentle with a smile.
So yes, that's our invitation to, you know, the card was to receive from the sun. It says It said be in the sun. And it just seems like such a symbol too for, like I said before we pulled the cards, was that allowing the grief, but then also allowing the joy too,
Yeah.
and allow the sunshine and allow the good feelings too. You know, we're all deserving of that.
Yeah.
We're all we're all deserving of love and goodness, and to feel good and to receive good things. And one more little card popped out for us, kind
Oh,
of
we got
depicting
pictures.
it.
Hey, today's gonna be a good day.
So this is a card. It's kind of weird.
I'm trying to see everything.
It's very abstract. I'd love to hear what anybody sees in this card.
Pardon me.
It's like giving me Twister vibes. Or what's that game? Is it Twister? No, what's the game that you play on the floor with all the
The
color?
color.
Twister.
Yeah, that's Twister. I'm seeing all the little Are those spirals? I need to look up on the big screen. I want to get a picture of that and really look at it.
Okay, so it says the power of music.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a little bubble here that's got like Polaroid pictures in it, and then there's a bubble where it looks like people are dancing, and then the
Jeez.
man's hand here like looks like it's hitting this, so like maybe these are like buttons, I don't know. So the power of music. So music has always been a powerful and multifaceted tool that I have used to navigate myself through all kinds of grief and trauma. Oftentimes, we may be afraid to listen to the songs that remind us of our loved ones who have passed away, because what if the memories come back to us so rapidly that it only makes us feel worse? If it feels too raw to listen to the old records you found in your loved one's attic or the playlist that they made for you, another solution is to lie back and play something that you can spin your own meaning onto: an ambient, droning instrumental, some melodic classic music, or smooth jazz, or calming music that is sung in a language that you don't understand. Think about what parts of the songs they would enjoy and how they would spend their time listening with you. While you lay down, if feelings arise and overcome you, relax and embrace them.
Okay.
So yeah, this card's about the power of music. Yeah, it looks like a mixer soundboard, right? So I guess these are kind of like memories or bubbles, things that pop up for us when we're listening to music.
To me, they almost look like hats. I thought they were big sun hats. That's what I was like. I really would like to see this picture, like up close and personal, like after you send it. Everybody, I will put it up on the community tab so you can really look at them, and maybe that'll be our. I dare you to journal.
Yeah.
To look at the photos that I'll put up all four of them, and I'll put the little, what they were, and feel free to dig in and look at them. But that one, I'd be curious. Like, we're supposed to mix it up, right? We're supposed to be able to spin more than one melody at the same time.
I think that's it. Is like he's got a soundboard with all kinds of different records on it
Yeah, and
that
he's
are
able to
giving
spin
off
a
all
little bit of
different.
all of them.
Yeah. So our first card was Waves of Grief, like this beautiful art piece, all the different colors and shades and emotions,
I
all of
love.
that.
I
So
really.
allowing the waves of grief, not fighting it, allowing your breath to help you move through them. And then we've got the mountain, so living with loneliness. So knowing that there's support out there, whether it's with your local community or with like a traditional support group, there is support out there. You don't have to be alone in it. And this community is like a great place too. We definitely don't shy away from the human experience, and everyone's welcome wherever they're at. And then you've got be with the sun, be with the good feelings, be with, yeah, be open to receive goodness when you're feeling lonely and when you're hurting. Don't shut yourself off. Allow yourself to receive. And then you can always tune into the power of music. There's so many different records out there. You can listen to the music that reminds you of whoever or whatever you're grieving, or you can totally go another route and allow the music to put you in a completely different space.
Sharon, are you hungry? No, at first I was like, are they pastries? At first I thought it was a table too, and they were like hats over in the corner. But
Mm-hmm.
Sharon, did you eat? We have a thing. We always ask Juan if he's eaten when he comes on because he forgets to eat.
Oh.
So I'm like, Sharon, did you forget to eat? Did you see?
And
She
we're
is.
talking about the market donuts.
Yeah, oh, market donuts.
Man. We love those donuts so much. Me and my honey love them so much. We used to go to the same market that they're talking about or that she's talking about. We even looked into buying one of the machines and working the markets. I honestly think that would be such a blast.
Yes.
But of
And oh, I
course,
have something
it's a
I'd love
big
to share.
task.
I have something I would love to share. Let me put my market bag down. So as I was leaving the market on Sunday with my veggies in hand, my berries galore, and I took the moment to nourish myself with some beautiful fresh strawberries while we started today. And I'm not going to apologize for eating on camera because I needed to nourish myself. And I hope that you guys could feel the joy in my mouth when I drank those or when I ate those. But as I was leaving, I heard ting, 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 ding, shoo, ting, 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 ding, shoo. And I was like, somebody's typing on a typewriter. And I heard it. And I was like, and my Britty was saying, she's like, I hear it too. And then we look over and there is this beautiful glowing soul sitting in front of this old antique little tiny typewriter typing. And right below it, it says LD poetry. And then it says at the bottom, poetry. That's what it said. And I was like, oh my gosh, aren't you precious? And she goes, can I write you a poem? And I had $1 left. I had spent all of my cash on the vegetables. And actually, it was my meal, my Ethiopian meal. And I was like, oh, honey, I would love that. I have $1 left. And she goes, well, I'm always available for energy exchange. And so I was like, well, I can do that. I can do that all day long. So as she was like, she asked me some things that have been going on in my life right now. Yes, there she is. She's absolutely adorable. LD is her name. And I told her that we were just doing our thing, warrior pose, hands on your hips, chin up, chest out, wah, that we were doing our own our power. And I said, and that we are only as strong as the power that we hold close. And so she dingada and wrote this for me. So we are working, we are overcoming. Oh, hold on. I'm blind as a bat. Holy, okay. I got it. Let me start over. Wait. Start over. Okay. We are working. We are unwinding. No, why do I keep saying unwinding?
I don't
It's
know.
owning. The word is owning. Owning our power. This morning we are keeping our chin up. We keep freckles along a golden sky. We've weave slipping into our sovereignty Naturally, we have sunk the heavy weight of options to anchor our hope and our homes and our hearts, intertwined and laced behind, the thin film layered in front. There are there are waves between the distance, a familiar separation, of slipping and familiar and falling and becoming whole. I've harnessed all my opportunity, kept firm within my own palm, guided by a waking trust, honoring the current, the rapids which carry me forward, the power of the sun in the hin, in the heathered to the shape and are heathered in the shape of a lesson. LD Sweets. It's really hard to read because it's let me.
Yeah, it is hard to read.
I don't know how to get me back out. Like this layout, like this one. But see, you can see how she typed it, and it's like old. It's really hard to read, but I'm gonna go through and really write it so you can see it. I was like, girl, it gave me goosebumps. It gave me goosebumps. Yes, a really, really old typewriter, and she was absolutely adorable. But I just felt, I was like, and how funny. And what I did is I slipped her my last dollar with my business card. So, for the Creations by Jax, that shows her how to get a hold of me. But if she's there next Sunday when I go, yeah, I might have her, I'll give her a couple of topics and I'll have her write some poems for us.
That's so cute.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, it's already 10 minutes. Holy shnikes, that went really fast.
Yeah. Zoom in.
How's everybody feeling today? Does anybody need to check in? Does anybody have anything that they wanted to circle back around to some of our others, things that we've talked about? I did get the first 3 recipes for the cookbook. So you guys, if you're interested in putting, I was just playing around with this, and it's Mama's Soup Pot, Bring Your Stone. And so you don't have to have an actual like recipe with measurements. Like one of mine is going to be a 2-finger pinch, a 5-finger pinch, a 2-finger pinch. It's
A
going to be
handful of
pinches and
this.
pokes and smidges and scotches.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think that you can't participate just because you don't measure with teaspoons. So yeah, email either of
Teaspoons are for
us.
baking.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do different segments. This first one is your favorite soup. So it's Mama's Soup Pot. So send me your favorite soup recipes and we're gonna put them in the cookbook, and then we'll have it available electronically as an ebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out, in fact, our Crojo's Corner, she does it, and I have one of her books. She does through Amazon. It's a print as you order. As you order it, they print and bind your book and send it out.
Yeah.
So if people wanted it hard copy, we can send those through Amazon. But I thought it would just be, I wanted it to be a free thing for everyone. I didn't want that to be, I wanted it just to be like our Mama Soup Pot, something for us, all of us to just collab and put. But if you want to make it into a hard copy book, then you pay for that part. But the electronic one, I really want that to be free for everyone. So if you have your favorite soup recipe, make sure to send it to us.
Soup, stew, even I'd even be open to
goulash,
like curries. Yeah, like
curries, goulashes, things that are brothy, stewy.
Mm-hmm.
Warm,
Coffee.
yummy goodness.
Yes.
I was looking at one of my lemongrass, like tom kha
Mm-hmm.
broth, but then using my own veggies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I can never just put mushrooms in.
Tomato.
What Tom Cod just has a few little veggies in it, but
It's usually like mushroom and tomato.
oh, I
I've had
love
it.
it with tomato.
Me too.
Bamboo shoot with
Yes,
bamboo.
Sharon, chili and doesn't have to be or.
Yeah.
And I would love to if we had like, on one page was the recipe and then on the side next to it maybe a story about the memory that this has for you and like
Yeah.
why it's comforting and why it's special to you.
Yeah. And
Um
pictures if you have them, even
yeah,
just picture
pictures.
inside of your bowl,
Yeah,
after you make it.
or picture, yeah.
Oh,
This
and
is
chili. Yes, chili all day long. That's why I didn't say maybe it shouldn't be mama's soup pot. That's why I said because you cook all of that in a soup pot. It's not necessarily like chicken noodle
yeah,
soup or chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings is a mainstay in this house.
soup pot still works for sure. I
Yeah,
think that's really
because
sweet.
it's mama's soup pot. Bring your stone. What are we
Mhm.
making together?
Mhm.
Yep, story and pictures, and I can help. If you are having a hard time at getting photos, I would be willing to make your recipe, try it, and then take pictures.
Oh, there you go.
Heck yeah,
Test kitchen.
that's right. Stock pot, Jackie. Dow. Hi, baby. But yeah, I'm ready. Soup. I would eat soup.
I
I would
don't care what
literally
season it
eat
is.
soup all the time.
I do not care what season it is.
Right? It can be hot out. Gazpacho.
But
Oh,
no, like
I
in
love
in
gazpacho.
like super hot humid countries, they eat soup cuz even in the summer, in the
It
hottest
still helps
times.
keep you. Yeah, I heard it helps keep your temperature. When you eat something cold and it's hot, it makes your body work harder to cool the food
Mhm.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but yeah, big old stock pot.
I'm going to put my stock recipe in there.
All of it.
Um
Denise, all of it. Not just healthy. I want your favorite recipe. Because I'll tell you what, my chicken and dumplings, I use butter. I use real biscuits that
and you
has
know what?
butter, more butter. I can't eat none of it, but
And you know what too with um the word health, that's such a loaded word in today's times.
yeah,
Like it's not what you eat, it's how you eat it.
yeah.
Right? If
Absolutely.
this thing that you make is going to help you with your grief and to comfort you and to speak to your soul and to make that person feel close to you, then that is the healthiest thing you could give yourself. More
Yeah,
so than the big green whatever full of fiber that's actually really hard to digest, you know.
yeah,
There's so much misconception out there.
yeah. Oh yeah, there'll be a bone broth recipe in there or four because
Yeah.
I would do pho because you know what the pho we have to have pho because that's my star anise and cardamom and coriander and cinnamon. I want to make pho. I'm going to make broths and then I'll actually make the soups that you put them in. Like, because we like to do where you make this delectable broth and then you have your bowl and you put all your little things just like pho. Like when they put the noodles, then you put all your veggies and your meat, and then you pour that hot broth over the top of it.
Mhm.
You can put whatever kitchen sink, like my mom does the kitchen sink. She'll like
Her
say like
veggie
she
soup.
has a huge cucumber, a huge zucchini. Well, for two people, she can only use like half of it. So the other half goes into this special container she has for making soup at the end of the month, at the end of the week.
Mhm.
Yum.
I
And
haven't
then
had
I
that
want to
in a long
do
time.
I want to do fixins like kimchi recipes, pickle recipes, olive recipes, pickling jarring recipes. This is good. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a whole segment. We're starting with soup. The next one we might do is desserts and decadence and delightful dancing sugars on my tongue. It's going to be great. I'm excited because I love to open the test kitchen. Yeah, I'm a kitchen witch too.
It's just such a wonderful way, like, even if you pick one day a week where you make a big broth, that broth can be used to cook your rice or to make your, I mean, I use it for everything. I mix broth into my mashed potatoes, I mix broth
Instead of
into
all the
my
butter.
beans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a great way to give yourself some really good nutrients throughout the week. I
Yeah,
mean, just
right there. But
making a mug
Sharon,
of broth.
that's what you did. That Sharon, all of the ends that you would normally go in the garbage, like when you cut the carrots or you cut the stalks off the celery, and all the peels and stuff. She puts that in the freezer and then makes the bone stock, or
Mhm.
puts just does a stock. And I know, did you put the actual carcasses in the freezer, or do you just
Yeah.
use them right when you get
No,
them?
like, if I get it we like to get our rotisserie chickens, so I keep all the juices at the bottom of the thing and all the bones that I can, and I'll collect maybe 2 or 3 of them and, put those in the freezer and add the onion peels, garlic peels, all of that has lots of
All of it.
flavor.
Yeah.
But recently, I found a really wonderful we have a new local butcher shop that actually raises their own chickens. So they're
Oh,
local pasture-raised chickens, that get harvested, and then they reserve all of the backs. So the back has the neck and the tail and the ribs and, like, all of the really, really, nutrient dense bones. So I get those, and then I go to the Mexican market and I get a couple pounds of the chicken feet because
oh, you get the pot though,
think
girl.
about it, the feet are like hands, right? You've got
Yeah.
all these little tendons and cartilage and so much collagen in there.
Thick. The
So
collagen is so good for people that have arthritis or thinning. If your joints, you're losing your cartilage. That pata, what the pig feet. You don't. I
no, I
can't.
don't use pig feet, I use chicken feet.
Oh, but I'm saying the pig feet too. But the chicken feet, the feet. There's I don't know what it is. It really that when you put that with the bone broth, so
Oh,
good.
and the flavor, I mean, it's my special treat once the broth is done cooking, I pull them out when I'm straining everything off, and I eat all the little tender
You suck
pieces,
them
and
bones, girl.
I do.
Heck yeah.
But, it's just a matter of, like, what works for you. I see Sugar Diamond, it's like, whatever works for you, whatever, is accessible to you, you could make a
Yeah.
wonderful broth and stock with veggies only,
You
but it's
have
really
to admit
important to
that,
have
like
fats.
that meat on the neck bone. I,
But
I
not
will say
everybody's into that.
meat off the chicken neck bone.
Yeah.
That is like those little medallions that are right there on the haunches. I call them the silver dollars. They're those
Mhm.
two little nubs that are right on the haunches of the. Oh, those are like the little pearls.
Yeah. So good.
But
But
yeah,
it's
I've been
just
doing
about
a
what
lot
you
of
have.
stuff. I did a complete veggie. I did riced cauliflower and veggies.
Mhm.
I didn't have. I was no. I did cook off a little hamburger meat for them, and Rain and I took the fresh roll wrappers and rolled them up
Yum.
and made like little fresh rolls, little gooey ones with
Yeah.
whey. So good.
Yum. Yeah, there's definitely resources out there. It's really
Yeah.
cool. Just from going to our local farmers market, we found our local sourdough artisan, um, and then I make broth and we trade with each other every couple weeks. So I get bread from her, she gets broth from me, and it's a really beautiful way to connect. We all have something that we can create, and we were talking about that too, Mom. Um, trades are amazing. I know, like, we're technically not supposed to do it, but it's a
Yeah. Sorry.
gift.
Whatever. It's an exchange.
It's a gift.
Whatever. It's not like we're gonna take over the world with it.
I don't can my broth, Denise. I actually got these things called super cubes on Amazon, and they're little silicone cube molds, for 1 cup. So after I make my broth, I let it cool and I skim off the really thick fat off the top, and I give that to our dogs. And then I warm it up just enough so that it's not, because when my broth is done and it's in the fridge, it is like jello. That's how much collagen is in there. It doesn't look
Yeah.
like broth.
Oh,
So I warm it up just enough so that it's a liquid again, and then I pour it into the super cubes and freeze it. So yeah, we're building a stock for the winter and for postpartum. And then I've got like my couple of family friends around that like to exchange for it. Um, and the next step is actually to do the freeze drying. So that would actually preserve it for like 20 years. You freeze dry your broth and then it turns into a powder. Boom, got
bouillon,
survival
baby.
food.
Booyah, bouillon. Doesn't go bad.
Oh, I love that bonbon. I want to do that.
Right? I've always wanted to. I was like, I need to find me uh, um, someone that has acreage and that we could make like our all the little houses and have right in the middle where we would have, we have the communal kitchen and the outside oven. And oh man, I would
Yep.
love to. And then we come together and eat our meals together, and we have our chickens. You
But hey,
take
we
care.
do what we can. We do what we can in the meantime. And
Yeah, you take care of the chickens.
but yes, Denise, that's true. The beef stock and even the bone marrow. So I have that on my list as being some of baby's first food. Egg yolks,
Yeah.
yogurt, plain yogurt. I'm not going to be doing the traditional enriched rice cereal that constipates them. We'll be going with meat
Mashed potatoes.
stocks and yeah, mashed veggies and mashed fruits that are in season.
That's the way you ate when you were a baby. I
Yeah.
never bought baby food
Oh,
ever. You
when
ate
you find
my
out all
whole.
the stuff they put in there, I'm just like,
I
and the
can't.
the plants, like the Gerber plants get all, yeah,
Yeah. I don't know.
there's heavy metals in there.
Yeah. Well, and you guys never. I don't know. It's just like I always just would make stews and overcook everything. And all of you guys went from breast to table, so I didn't really have to do a lot of that supplemental food.
Yeah.
Just went to pinch them finger foods, cutting vegetables into small pieces. And yeah, I never bought baby food. Maybe just those Gerber graduate things, the bananas and stuff. But even still, now I look at those, I'm like, oh, all the garbage that's in them.
Well, and there's been a lot of stuff that came out about there being heavy metals and
Yeah, all the
pesticides and
vegetables they're using.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, avocado. Lexi used to tear them up.
Mhm.
Yeah, the whole family here love avocado.
So cool hearing everybody's,
Use baby food processor.
yeah.
I didn't. It's like the bananas. I would take bananas that were ready for like um, banana bread, that were almost completely brown. And I would add just a little bit of like orange juice or something and I would just mash it up with a fork. And anything that I was eating, they would eat. I mean, of course, if I was having a steak, they weren't going to have that. But all the veggies and stuff they would have. Like my youngest, he didn't like meat. He was a vegetarian until he was almost 5.
Yeah, he still doesn't really like meat on the bone or anything like that.
Still doesn't like meat on the bone. If I'll take it off the bone, he'll eat it, and it has to be very, very tender steak. But yeah, he doesn't like fatty. He doesn't like the fatty, and I'm like, here, give me that. Mom, that was just
And
a
it's
piece of
super
fat.
interesting. Do you know his blood type? So there's some really, really
No.
interesting information coming out about blood type and how certain blood types are more likely to have, taste for meats, and then others are more likely to be vegetarian. Um, So yeah, there's like all kinds of scientific research about blood types and certain diets to serve those blood types, and I thought
Mm.
that was super interesting.
Yeah.
When I
Great.
looked at mine, it showed that like yeah, a lot of meat's good, carbs not so much, like processed carbs at least.
Yeah.
Like beans and lentils are not so good for my blood type. Um, but like lots of veg and there's like certain things you stay away from. It's not like you can't have it, but like optimally your blood builds off of certain types of proteins and certain types of things.
Yeah.
So they like tracked all of the blood types and it was just really interesting.
It is
So
very.
and I
Yeah.
noticed the
I
more that
can't.
I
Chicken nuggets. I can't with the chicken nuggets. Oh my gosh. It's awful. Bonbon, you used, yep, Lex wants to use cloth diapers. I tried cloth diapers as long as I could, but I was kind of a young mom when I was 22
it's a
when
lot of
Lex
work.
was really, well, no, 21. I was 21 when you were born.
It's a lot of work for sure.
Yeah, it is tons of work. Well, and like you were talking about the that they just like you would potty train a puppy. You
So
bring them to
yeah.
the potty once every 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You bring them to the potty, even if they're little tiny.
So this is a book that I got. It's called Go Diaper Free. And it's this whole book about elimination communication. And basically, it's this idea that babies are actually born with the ability to hold. And that's a lot of times why they will show cries of discomfort, is because they don't want to potty on themselves and they don't want to potty on you. They're
Right.
very much aware and know how to hold. What happens is we don't honor that, and the doctors and pediatricians tell us, "Oh, like babies don't have the ability to do that." Total crap.
Yeah.
There's like this is a whole movement, and babies are very much able to give you signals when they've got to go potty. And yeah, people put them over the toilet or over the sink, or if you're outside, you just put them in their little potty position. And yeah, basically they have signals and signs, and just like yeah, like she was saying, like a puppy would.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has accidents when they're sick and stuff, but that's different. But like Lexi potty trained herself she was barely 9 months old. She got up and walked. She just was
Mhm.
done with it. She couldn't carry both of her toys and crawl. So she got up and walked. And within just a few weeks of that, she was, I mean, even to this day, I was like, wow, you were so little.
Mhm.
Maybe 9.5 months. She was barely 10 months. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, Lex, and I hear, Mama. And you can tell it's in the bathroom. And I come, she's on the potty swinging her feet. And she goes, I poo pooed. Actually, she went toilet. She did me the sign for toilet. I had to go toilet. And she did. And she never pottied in her diaper again. So
Like
it was
of
just
course
like
accidents happen,
with that
that sort of
open
thing.
door, not really. You were so good. It was more if I couldn't get you there fast enough.
Right. That it's like
Yeah,
truly
it
an
wasn't that you
accident.
weren't trying to hold because you held,
Yeah.
but I didn't get you fast enough. But um, yeah, I mean, she was like, "Nope, I'm done with all that."
It's so fascinating.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
and you
it's
were
sad too
doing
when
sign language at 4 months old.
well, we
Yeah,
were blessed that, you were home with me a lot at that age. It's
yeah,
like
that is it, though. That is it.
so
You
many
can't.
babies don't have that, when they're in nurseries.
Yeah, you
It's
definitely, if
just
you're not
not
able to come home and do that, that's not an option.
yeah.
I was blessed. I was blessed to be able to stay home with all three of my children until they started school. I mean, if there's a way to do it, you got to. If there's a
Yeah.
way, if you don't have children, to have someone else raise them. You know, if you have the ability to raise your own kids, that one parent You do what you got to do. One parent works at night, one parent works during the day. You know, you do what you got to do to raise your own babies, because there's so much ugliness in the world. Mm-mm.
Well, and it's just a matter of like capacity too. It's like the nurseries, it's like one person to how many babies?
Yep.
Too many.
Yep. I'm not gonna work my tail off for my kid to sit in a corner by themselves. No.
When a lot of people are finding it's like, oh, the amount of money I'd be making working full time, it's barely enough to cover the cost of this nursery.
Yeah.
How can we make this work? And so for us, it's, we're doing the family household thing.
Oh, that
And
was it. When we finally had to go back to work, I had to go back to work, and TJ, because of his birthday being December 3rd, he missed the cutoff when he turned 5, and then they missed the cutoff again. So he was like almost 2 years behind because of where his birthday fell. And so we had to, for 1 year, put him into pre-K, and it was a mortgage payment. It was like $1,000 a month. And I was like, that's like an entire paycheck just to put. I was like, so I'm making half a paycheck for my kid to be raised somewhere else.
raised, yeah,
But yeah, no, I was just, yeah, I was so glad I was blessed.
so
But
we figure it out.
yeah. How
Well,
are
I
you
think
feeling? How's Bean?
Bean's moving like crazy, waking me up in the middle of the night, and
Yeah.
Marcus has started to feel a lot of the movements now. So,
Oh, good. Yeah,
yeah.
see there, Mama Swift worked midnight to 8, but then got up and was with her kids all day long too.
Wow.
Because he was a police officer, so he was gone all day long, 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 long hours, and she did it all.
Yeah.
It's my rock star.
Yeah, so lots of movements. Oh, yeah, we're 25 weeks today.
Oh my goodness.
25. Our midwife comes this Saturday to come visit the house and meet Marcus and Piper. Um, and yeah, to start getting things all situated. It's going
Where
to
are
be
we at?
here.
We're about halfway there, or just shy of half.
No, no. I've been able to put about 2,500 towards.
Okay. So, and then I'll just keep talking about it within the next couple of lives too. That I'm going to pull some things, I'm going to do some custom orders. And I don't know if anybody's interested in, should we do an auction to help raise some money? And so, because again, I told you guys from Jump Street, it's really hard for us to just sit here and say, send PayPal, send PayPal. No,
Yeah.
Lexi's taking commissions. I am also taking commissions. In fact, I just um, there was a piece that I have that I was going to do another commission piece, but I'm going to use this piece instead, which opens me up to now make a new piece. So Christmas is coming, guys. I mean, I'm doing some new things with some market bags, some quick, easy things, stitch markers, bag charms. Um, And that, see, Denise E, yes, if we do an auction, I would love that. So yeah, you guys, like we did, do it's like the baby shower, and we have a bunch of gifts, and we'll do that as well. So um, I don't know, we pretty much, you know, had to start over. So, but you're gonna co-sleep. You don't really need a crib. You've got the bassinet. We just
Oh,
need
yeah.
what, like a car seat, simple things like that.
Which which
Well,
um which grandparents have already offered to do, and so we are having a little baby shower at the end of October, an in-person one. So right now, like, yeah, the biggest push is to just get our midwife costs covered, and I'm a bit backlogged on art pieces right now. So I would love if anyone's interested in doing like a one-on-one session. I signed up for Zoom, so I'm able to have a private meeting call if we wanted to go over any cards or numbers. Everything I do is very intuitive. It's like you never really know what's going to come up. Um, but, we can always have a conversation and pull cards and talk about any types of mindfulness and wellness exercises to assist you. And yeah, yeah, that's really what I like to share. So I've had a couple of those so far. Um, and yeah, so we could do like 30-minute mini sessions or an hour, even go up into like 90 minutes. So it's really whatever you feel called to. But yeah, I love to do, I guess I would call it spiritual guidance,
Yeah.
like a spiritual guidance session.
Yes, we will put together an Amazon wish list too for
Okay.
little you need.
Yeah.
I have one, but it's creations. It's more of the business stuff like shipping supplies and crochet stuff. But we'll do one for Bean. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then Sharon, go ahead and email me at lexithelu@gmail.com and I can give you price breakdowns.
Yeah, very simple. The exchanges are very manageable. It's
Thanks, Laura. Yeah, we had a great session.
yes.
It's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, she's going all natural at home and a surprise. But yeah, so wonderful, guys. If you are interested in putting forth pieces for a small auction, please email me, creationsbyjax@gmail.com, and let me know if you have ideas, or like I said, I think you said we have to have the balance within 6 weeks of due date.
I believe it's actually at the 37-week mark. So
So
we've got
okay, so
another.
we have about 10 weeks left.
Mhm.
Okay. I was like, I know we can do it. I know we can do it. We waste 35 grand for someone to buy a wheelchair. I know I can raise a couple $1,000s to make sure that Bean is brought into the world properly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna turn and burn it, guys. I'm gonna pull some things forward. In fact, I just pulled forward 2 of my prototype shawls, and I'm going to be doing some more stitch markers and bag charms. I put up a bunch of them and they sold in like an hour. So I'll be doing some more
Sweet.
things for energy exchanges, you guys. And again, there are my warriors that have been hitting the PayPal like monthly, regularly. There's certain people that will drop a 20 in there. It is amazing. And that is exactly what, I mean, it's everything to me, you guys. And again, thank you so much. And um, yeah, I think we.
Did you see Michelle's note? We could put together a list of those of us who would donate a mystery yarn box for an auction, and we could mail them to whoever buys them in the auction.
Absolutely, yes. And then that saves on shipping too, because the people that donate things to the auction, you will ship those directly to the winners.
That's a
Yes,
really
for
cute
sure. So
idea.
that's what we'll do. I'll pull some of my bags and some of, like I said, my prototypes, maybe a couple of the macaw kerchettes, and get that ready. So we'll say maybe give me about a week. This next coming Saturday, I'll really pull some things forward and show you guys, and we'll talk more about it.
Yeah.
They sold really bad. Well, and again, if anybody wants, like I had after they all sold, I had 5 more people email me on the side for custom orders. So if you have anything in particular that you want, sugar, let me know. I have lots of ocean themed charms. Like I just got some beautiful abalone shell charms that are all ocean themed. I have like hummingbirds, and so let me know. Just email me and we do it kind of on the side, or I can put a special listing on the Etsy store. So, yep, lots of little things. I'm going to make some really simple ones, some little stitch makas that are only $5. So they'll range from $5 to $20, depending on there's some keychains, so I'm going to do the things.
Mm.
All right. Well, I need to go eat something Oops, it has been a long day. I have some exciting things happening tomorrow that I will share with you guys once it's a done deal. But go like this to me and
Yeah, I
sit
was
all
about
of
to
the
say,
legs and break all of the
everybody,
legs tomorrow.
everybody, let's wrap ourselves in a big hug.
And a
Pretend it's
little
from me to you.
squeeze, squeeze.
Mm.
I love you guys. Wonderful Denise. And I know Denise E has amazing stitch skills. I don't want to let go now. See, I'm just like chilling. I'm just, somebody won't let go. Some okay, my hand, look, my hands are here, but somebody won't let go. Is somebody hugging me hard? Because look, my arms just don't want to let go. That for real, I felt like that energy. My hugs were not letting go. All right, my loves. Well, we will see you this next coming Wednesday morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. Pacific time, and for Wellness Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I think I'm really digging this where we just see what the cards tell us we want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like we always say, if anyone has a specific topic that you would like Lexi to focus on, email us and we will do that. We
Yes.
do for you, honey. Crystal
Mm-hmm.
gel make you look lovely. All right.
Good night, everybody. Thank
Take them
you.
breaths. Take the breaths, the big, giant baby breaths. Ah, let it go. I love you guys, and we'll see you Wednesday.
Good night.
Bye.